his name, Merlin.
What's going on, nomads, pod people, and strangers everywhere across the internet? My name is V, and welcome back to Merlin Weekly. Sorry for the small delay, but if you guys saw the Troy Weekly, you guys will understand that it was technical issues as well as flooding issues that happened in this film space. But now we are back once again with episode 4, Aithusa. Now, the reason I was trying to wait a little bit longer to do this review was because after the events of the third episode, this is kind of where I was the most frustrated with how the writers made Season 4 happen. And I'll go into this after I go over the plot synopsis. See, a former student of Gaius, whose name is so uninteresting I'm going to ignore that he exists for the time being, decides that he wants these 3 pieces of this dwarven / druid-based artifact to uncover the secret tomb of a very sacred magical creature that holds the final dragon's egg. That way, John Hurt Dragon isn't the only dragon alive. However, the race is now to either destroy it by Camelot's rule or to be sold off for profit by Gaius' former student, all because Merlin decided to jump the gun once again to cause the whole problems to skyrocket downward. Not tumble down a hill, but skyrocket downward like it was propelled by a magical rocket for it to crash downward into a pit with non-stop boulders just being tossed down for Sisyphus to be rolled back up the hill in the underworld. That's what we were having for episode 4 as a synopsis. Now, here are my problems with the episode as a whole due to a continuity standpoint, thanks to the events of episode 3, that make me angry with this season as a whole. With the way they could have written anything that could have been potentially good as Merlin and Arthur trying to work towards a future where magic is still being vilified in Camelot and they're trying to nuzzle themselves in more and more inch by inch by being like, magic isn't this bad, guys. I know Uther said it was bad for this long, but maybe we can inch towards this more and more. The fact that there could have been a dragon being raised in Camelot by Arthur's own decree to then have other people try to come in and take the egg and try to do all this other stuff by selling it off and this, that, and the third thing. Even having Arthur try to get over his innate prejudice to trust Merlin more and more as an individual of magic rather than treating him very poorly as a servant boy. That kind of seemed like a better way to do the plot, because you have people still trying to get acquainted with the plot threads that are going on right now. And would have been a beautiful moment to be like a transition period that does well by the inactions that happen. But instead, we're just handled with Merlin's going back to his normal state of being underappreciated, have his entire secret be put downward, and there's no real development towards Camelot being progressive like John Hurt Dragon has been saying for Merlin's whole destiny to begin with. It's that frustrating appeal that I'm just like, you could have done so much better with the writing to have everything progress on a much more thought out plot thread, but instead we're just handled with more Arthur's gonna become the new Uther, so we have to make sure that he's unlikable for doing stuff that Uther would only approve of. Blah, 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 blah. And it's not as appealing as people want me to believe in, and it's one of the biggest issues I have with this season. Were things actually written out more so that we could have a duality process of kind of magic being reinstated inch by inch thing? That would have been nice. That would have been nice. But I guess what we got instead was okay enough. And the whole entire appeal at the end of the episode involving the birth of the white dragon is gonna be one of those things that I want to talk about, but the reason I'm glossing over a lot of the details about this episode in general is the fact that it gives away a lot of plot threads for the finale of this season as well as actions going on into the season 5. That way, I don't want to give away too much so that you guys are going to be like, oh, so this happens here because of the birth of blank, because blank does spoilers to spoilers, because spoilers then happens to spoilers that then happen in spoilers. That kind of warrants why I'm not paying this episode that much attention. Sorry, not sorry, as we then just focus on the next episode to come, which, thankfully, since I'm recording this on Father's Day, really speaks a lot of volumes to me as like a giant spit in the face. I'll see you guys next week.